If you're starting a clothing brand, here's how to avoid getting scammed when you're finding a manufacturer, because I almost did. Okay, so first things first, if you're starting, you might want to start domestically. It's just easier to look for a manufacturer in the actual place that you live in. You should go with someone who's actually going to let you walk into the factory and see your clothes being made. When finding local manufacturers, I recommend going on the CFDA website, and they actually have a list of credible manufacturers in the United States. I live in Canada, but unfortunately there are not many people who make clothes in Canada, so I've had to look in the US. Next, you want to make a list of literally every single piece of information that you need from them, including pricing for patterns, samples, grading. If you're manufacturing abroad, then you want a tech pack, you want production price estimates, you want as much information as you can possibly get. I've been tracking literally everything in a spreadsheet, and I'm getting as many quotes as possible before securing my final manufacturer. Once you have all your final quotes, you want to look out for people who are charging you for coordinator fees for no reason. For example, a studio in LA quoted me $2,000 for coordinator fee for what? No one knows. And when I brought that up to a different factory that I talked to, they were like, that's ridiculous and insane. Another thing you want to look out for, unless you love overpaying, is for people who only provide package deals and you have no option to pick different services that you actually want them to provide you with. For example, one factory that I met with, they quoted me $2,790 USD just for one style, and that doesn't include production, and that also doesn't include grading, which is basically just increasing the pattern pieces so that you can have more than one size. And $2,790 is a lot. And they have a minimum of 2 styles. It's just ridiculous that it doesn't include grading. I actually can't. The same factory quoted me $1,330 for fabric sourcing, which another place has quoted me $200 for. So just do your research. It's especially challenging, I must say, that I am working on starting with one pair of jeans. Jeans are just so much more difficult than many other things. For example, all jeans start with this kind of dark blue indigo color, and you kind of wash it down to get it to like a lighter wash. So if you are working on making something like jeans or something a little bit more complicated, make sure that the manufacturer has the necessary machinery to actually complete your project, because I've had to outsource to the United States because in Canada, most places that even do produce clothing actually don't have the right machinery for something like jeans. And since they have to go through a washing process as well, then you would have to outsource that washing and ship it to wherever the wash house is, and it just adds on a lot of money and a lot of time. The last thing I'm going to recommend is if you're on a time crunch and you want something released at a certain point in time, then make sure that you ask them about production lead times as well as development lead times. Most studios have a really long development period. Usually their production period is a lot shorter. It also all depends on your decisiveness as a designer, so just make sure that you know what you want when you go in. These people move fast. My biggest tip will be to look for someone who's actually going to be a partner for you, and you should really be the one to focus on marketing and sales. This place should really just be concerned with making the perfect item of clothing for you so that you can really focus on building up the brand and actually wanting to come back to the same studio to produce more styles because your styles are actually selling. Anyways, best of luck to you, and